Hello and welcome to Card Creative Coaching. So today I'm going to talk about some of the positive things you can do once you've worked on your depression to really help get yourself from a neutral state to a happy place. But first I want to address the elephant in the room, and that is this word positive. I think we can all agree that toxic positivity is a thing. If you're feeling depressed and someone comes along and says, cheer up, put a smile on your face, just do some exercise or do whatever and you'll feel happier. Well, I think we can all agree that that doesn't really help. If you're depressed, you need to address that first. Just being positive isn't going to help you. Even my sign-off line, dream big, laugh lots, and create. Some people may hear that and shudder and recoil from it because it doesn't work for them and it doesn't speak to them where they are in life right now. And that's a fair reaction. And please understand that those words are meant to be my hope for people, not a command. So, toxic positivity is a thing. But just because it is a thing does not also mean that action-based, purpose-driven positivity isn't also a thing and a very powerful thing. That's why there's an entire field of psychology now based around this. It's called positive psychology. So, when you are ready, when you are feeling you have begun to alleviate your negative emotions and your depression, and you're starting to want something to replace them with other than just a void of negative emotions, that is when you can start to look at how to bring more positivity and happiness into your life. It is very possible, but it takes work. And that's where a lot of people fall down on this. They want it to be easy. They think happiness should just be there. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. And that leads me to something I want to really talk about quickly here, which is happiness is hard to define. And part of that is because there's a lot of myths around happiness. And I want to talk about two of them really quickly. The first myth is that happiness can be found, that it's outside of us, it's somewhere out there. Well, it's not. It's inside of us, which means we do have direct control over it. But it also means some people don't like that because they have to work to be happy, instead of just going out into the world and finding happiness wherever they find it. Myth number two is the if only myth. That somehow if our life circumstances were different, we'd be happy. If only I had a new car or a new job or a loving spouse or $1 million. If only. As it turns out, those things can impact on our happiness, but only slightly. About 10% of your happiness is based on your life circumstances, which isn't a lot. And that has been sort of proven, and I'll talk about that in a moment. There are other myths, but those are the two big ones, that happiness is outside of us, and if only things would change out there, we'd be happy. No. Happiness is inside of us, and we have the power to change it and be happier now. So, how do we do this? Well, where did I learn all this information? If you're curious, I think I've shown this book before. The How of Happiness by Sonja Lyubomirsky is a great book. It goes over several activities that can help you be happier and are scientifically proven to help you be happier. It's a great guide for building your own happiness and productivity in your life. Let me give you an overview. As I said, there are 12 activities you can do. Some will work better for some people than for others. The point is not to do all of them, but to do what works for you. So read through, pick the ones that work for you, and practice them intentionally and strategically to build your happiness. That's also a key factor in this. So what are the 12 activities? I'll give you just a quick list here. Number 1 is expressing gratitude. Number 2 is cultivating optimism. 3 is avoiding overthinking and social comparison. 4 is practicing acts of kindness. 5 is nurturing social relationships. 6 is developing strategies for coping with future stress. 7 is learning to forgive. 8 is increasing flow experiences. 9 is savoring life's little joys. 10 is committing to your goals. 11 is practicing spirituality and religion. And 12 is taking care of your body. So what worked for me, if you're curious? I focused on three of them. I loved the flow experiences, which is often what happens when I'm writing. That's why I'm so happy when I'm writing. As well, committing to goals, like finishing books. Again, why I'm happy when I'm writing. And the third one was savoring life's little joys, from a sunny day to a finished book to a really nice cup of tea. It's just those tiny little moments where you take that little extra time and just savor the happiness that they bring you. Now, what worked for me may not work for you. We're all different. And personally, I think this is where toxic positivity comes from. It comes from a place of a person trying to help, but not understanding that other people are different and they're in a different place and they need different things. Curiously, one of the activities in this book, as part of taking care of your body, it sort of breaks it down a little bit. But one of the activities is to smile more, to act like a happy person. This actually does work for some people. And if someone maybe has experienced this innately, that they've just started smiling more and they're feeling happier because of it, they might want to share this with other people. And when they see someone who looks down, they might suggest, hey, you should smile more. But without really knowing what that other person is going through and what they really need, they may be doing more harm than good. So here's my advice. Do what works for you. And if you start to be happier and see someone else in need of more joy in their lives, first stop. And remember what it was like when you were depressed, what you needed, what worked for you. Then, if you're going to do anything, start by finding out more about this person and what they need. Then, maybe, if they want, you can start to direct them to some of the resources that worked for you. If you want to talk more about depression or happiness, I'd love to hear from you. And until then, my sincere hope for you is that you are able to dream big, laugh lots, and create. Thank you.